One day, you wake up and realize the life you worked so hard for doesn't feel like enough anymore. It happens slowly, almost politely. The drive that once pulled you out of bed before the alarm goes soft, the routine you built like a fortress, brick by careful brick, begins to feel like a cage. The ambition that used to cut clean through every obstacle has gone blunt in your hands. You cannot say exactly when the edge dulled or why, only that it is gone. Success can become a destructive force when you find yourself trapped within the rigid identity required to achieve it. There is an old story that explains exactly what is happening to you. For most of its life, the eagle is the undisputed king of the sky. It bangs into the wind as though the air belongs to it, entirely certain of its own power. Every feature is honed for dominance. Its eyes can find a heartbeat moving in the grass a mile below. Its beak is a blade. Its talons close like iron and never miss. And then it turns 40. One ordinary morning, the king of the sky wakes and discovers he can no longer kill. The beak that fed him for a lifetime has grown long and curved, bending slowly back until it points directly at his own throat. The talons that never missed have stiffened into useless hooks, and his feathers, once sleek and shaped for flight, hang thick, matted, and heavy, dragging at him with every beat of his wings. The greatest hunter the sky has ever known sits stranded on the earth, starving inside the body that used to make him invincible. It is the same weight you feel when your own strengths begin to hold you down. Here, on the ground, the eagle faces the only choice that has ever truly mattered. He can stay exactly as he is. He leaves the warmth, the flock, the only world he has ever known, and climbs until he reaches the top of a lonely, freezing mountain ledge. There, with no one to see him and nothing left to lose, he begins with the beak. He brings his head down against the rock hard. It is violence, plain and deliberate. The king smashing the crown from his own head until the old, curved beak cracks, splinters, and tears away. And then he waits. He sits in the cold with the raw wound of himself in silence, doing the hardest work there is. Absolutely nothing. He waits until a new beak grows slowly in its place. With that new beak, he reaches down and tears out his old talons, one by one. When those have grown back, he turns on his feathers, ripping away every heavy, matted, useless one, until he stands on the ledge, stripped bare, just a trembling, naked thing that used to be a king. Rebirth requires the willing destruction of the very tools and identities that previously kept you alive. This timeline shows what breaks most creatures. For 150 days, the eagle endures complete solitude. Notice how that void is replaced by new growth. To get there, he must choose every morning to let the old self die so the new can be born. And then, one morning, it is finished. A new beak, new talons, a fresh coat of feathers, clean and light as breath. The eagle steps to the very edge of the rock where, months before, a dying king once landed. He spreads wings that feel weightless. For the first time in years, he looks out at the enormous waiting sky and he leaps. The wind catches him and he flies, remade, lifted on the same air that once refused him. He traded 150 days of pain for 30 more years of flight. Now, turn away from the mountain and look at your own life. Somewhere around 40 or 50, almost all of us arrive at that same bare ledge. The heavy feathers are everywhere. The vanishing career role, the empty nest, the marriage, the title. One day you put on the identity you spent decades building and find it no longer fits. We call this a midlife crisis, framing it as a failure or a breakdown of the things that used to work. The eagle recognizes the ledge as the necessary site where one outdated life ends so a truer one can start. Achieving a second life demands opening your hands and intentionally dropping the heavily rehearsed regrets and grudges you have white-knuckled for decades. It will hurt. No one honest will tell you otherwise. It will be lonely in a way that surprises you, and it will take far longer than you want it to. Being stripped of your role, your routine, and your certainty on the cold rock marks the beginning of your second story. And here is the last honest thing. Real eagles do not actually do this. It is a fable, a beautiful story that never happened on any literal mountain. But you are not a bird. Your mountain is real, your ledge is real, and your second story is entirely real if you are willing to pay for it. The eagle does not mourn his old beak. He uses the breaking as the beginning. Choose the rock, choose the pain, choose the rebirth, and choose to fly again. If this story resonated with you, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and share this video with someone who might need to hear it today. For more stories that inspire growth, purpose, and a better life, subscribe to Ignited Stories.